a tutorial of Angelique from Hellraiser. I think it's one of the most badass looks we've done. The open skull is a really cool feature, and I think you can use it for almost any Halloween makeup look. It'll make it awesome. If you stay here, I will show you how it's done.
This tutorial requires a skill level between intermediate and ninja, depending on how good you are with your hands and working with stuff. Takes about 2 hours to prepare and 60 to 90 minutes to apply, again depending on how fast you work. There's a lot of stuff used, so check the list on your right, and also be careful when twisting and working with a wire, since the edges there might be a bit sharp. And if you don't have wire, you can always use rubber bands and paint them in silver instead. Let's do this. Alright, so we begin this with a little Google session, finding some stuff out about Angelique. She's the first makeup out in our Hellraiser series, and we're gonna begin by creating the flappy skin on top of the head. This area is actually a lot larger than we need, but it's better to cut away excess than have too little. Then we add latex, cover that area up, just like that, leaving the middle out, and then we layer this with paper, and then again a coat of latex on top, and do about 3 or 4 layers like this. Dry it with a blow dryer, and to make it really sturdy we do 1 layer with cotton as well, just like this. Get it out there, then cover it in latex, flatten it out till it's all mushy and good. And again, we dry that with our blow dryer. Next up, we're gonna build the top skull piece, and for that you're gonna need like a doll head matching your head size, like Ellie's here. And if you don't have one, you can always turn a bowl upside down, preferably one that matches your head size somewhat. Yeah, looks like a mask almost. Then we research some skull and bring out our clay. This is your basic clay. Doesn't have to dry or set or anything like that. So just keep pushing it down onto the head or your bowl. Pull down a little there. We just need the shape to be really nice. Then we peel it off and cut off all the excess until we have something looking like this. There. This is gonna be our skull. We line this with cotton using latex. Good amount of latex there. And then we bring out the yarn. We tear it up until it looks like a bunch of tiny blood vessels like this. Looking good. And again, going back to the latex and add the yarn, going out a little bit over the skull piece. It's gonna look real nasty when it's all finished. Dry it up. Then we need to make the markings of the skull sutures here, and just use any tool you got there to make these little markings, since our skull bone isn't one piece. Like that. Perfect. And for added realism, we add a little bit of color along these lines. Taking a dark brown color, just fill it out like that. Maybe smudge it a little bit with your fingertips so it goes outside like that. Alright, and to bring it all together and give it one solid look and texture, we're gonna use some varnish there. That also adds to a little bit of shine on the actual finish. We'll leave the skull to dry and go back to our flappy skin pieces. And to pull this off, we're gonna use flour, of course, because as you know, latex have a tendency to stick to itself if we don't add the flour as we peel it off. So make sure you use a lot there. Alright, we cut off the excess and also split the back piece up like that, keeping the front together. Do a little matching of size. Then we double fold it so that we can cut both sides at the same time there. And when we are satisfied, we bring out the latex again and attach it like this. Almost looks like wings there on the head. And for a little extra hold, add that tape there to keep stuff in place. Trim up the edges a little bit more. So now we see how it's actually gonna look. And we're gonna go back to the yarn again and line the whole skin piece there with latex and apply that yarn, making it look really awesome. Then again, bringing out the varnish to give this a nice shiny finish, to make it pretty sturdy as well. Make sure you get it all the way down there in the crack. We dry it with the blow dryer. We go down with a bit of red paint there in the fold all the way down, and then switch up to a skin tone to match that flappy latex there. Blend them good, and to top it all off, another coat of that varnish. Yep. We'll leave the head to dry and bring out our sculpting clay, because we're gonna make the dragged out, stretched out skin pieces on Angelique's shoulders from the wires pulling her skin. So we create like 3 little spikes, if you will. There's our 3 spikes. Slice off additional material, and as you know, they are placed far out on the shoulders, and so they will lean a little bit inwards towards the head. So we use the water here to smooth the surface, and then we tilt them a little bit like that to lean. Then keep smoothing them out, cleaning it all up like that. And to make the latex easier to pull off, we add this coat of varnish. And when that's all dry, we add our latex, just like this. You don't have to coat it before, but it's probably a little bit easier to remove it with that layer of varnish. Alright, so with the latex in place, we speed dry it and then pull it off. Again, using fair amount of flour there to keep it from sticking to itself. And create 2 of these. And then we go for a paint job. Ellie is matching up her skin a little bit with her foundation. And then adding a little bit of red on the tips there and mixing that again with the foundation. Looking good, looking good. Okay. And with our shoulder pieces in place, we punch a hole in our flappy skin, or actually 3 holes. Bring out the wire and thread it through that hole, like that. And just be careful so that you don't stick yourself with the wire, because they can be pretty sharp. Like that. Twist it. Looks pretty raw. Something like that. Do the same thing on the shoulder pieces. Thread that wire through and twist it up like that. And there we have it. You are done with your preparations and can head to the mirror. So why don't you take it from here, Ellie?
Thank you, Max. I have put up my hair in pins and I'm putting on a bob cap. Since I'm using a really cheap one that's kind of hard to blend with the skin, I will, as an experiment, cover the edge with skin tape. This is just to get maybe a little bit better blend than with the thick annoying I will not absorb paints in the same way as skin and make it impossible to blend latex. And I try to get as close to the hairline as I can, and then I cover my brows with a glue stick, because Angelique has no brows. When it's smooth and all the hairs are covered, I set it with some powder. I continue to cover both my brows and the rest of my face with a thick layer of cream foundation. I want Angelique's face to be flawless, so this is going to be thick. When I've set the foundation with some powder, it's time for contouring. Since Angelique has a bald head, I want to enhance my facial features a little extra using a dark powder. I'm applying it underneath my cheekbones, my temple bones, then along my non-existing hairline. Applying a light blush just to get some color in my face. This will make me look a little bit more alive. Continuing with my strobing palette to get some highlights. I apply it to my cheekbones, nose, and jawline. To get a good base for my eyeshadow, I start by covering my lid with a black cream pen. Using a dark brown, I smudge the black pen into the crease. I do this with a fluffy brush and I stroke it back and forth, and then I push the pigments into the eyeshadow. With a lighter brown, I blend and fade the dark shadows together. In an attempt to cover my brows better, I put on some white paint. I should have done another layer of glue, but it was a little bit too late for that in this stage, so I just went along with it. And putting some strobing on. And don't forget the nasal bridge. I hook on the shoulder pieces on the wire we put on the headpiece, and then I use the excess wire to kind of wire the shoulder pieces in place and make it look cool. With the shoulder pieces attached, I put on my flaky skin skull hat and make sure it's placed to my liking. And I attach it using skin tape. And back to the beauty makeup and outlining my lips. I am overdrawing them because I want them to look big, and then I'm covering them with a red lipstick. For ombre effect, I'm outlining my lips again, but this time with a dark lipstick. Weirdo face and eyeliner time. Yeah. Lashes are on, and I am putting on some mascara. Angelique has a brown beauty mark, so I'm giving myself one using brown eyeliner. Since I don't own the clothing Angelique wears, I thought it would be fun to use my painting skills and give it a try. I am outlining her top looking at pictures of her from the movie. Filling in with my foundation. And filling in the whole thing with black. Trying to keep all of the black inside the lines. In these holes, we're going to put some hooks, so I'm creating a bruised area using red and brown. These hooks I made from wire, and I'm applying them with some tape. The tape didn't really stick to the collar, so I had to take some away. And place. And covering the tape with some brown. To make it look nice and gory, I put on some clot of blood. Covering my shoulders with latex and applying the shoulder pieces. Make sure they stick, and then cover all of it again with some more latex, and then use the hairdryer to make it dry faster and do a few layers. Adding some clotted blood, and we're almost done. cover all of the edges again with some foundation and go over the lines you made before with the black paint. Thanks for watching. I hope you like this look. Tell us who's your favorite monster or horror villain, and don't forget to subscribe.